Dana is the chief pilot in her parents' business, Fullerton Airways. It is a small business in Fullerton, Australia, to communicate and commute over the seas. As the dream of her deceased mother, Carla, Dana is not willing to give up on the airways and the good deeds, both of which are the memory of her mother. However, her father, Jeff, wants her to focus on profiting from the business because they currently have only one working plane, one pilot, and one mechanic, Nikki. Meanwhile, William Matthews is struggling to prove his identity in his father's business, ITCM Financials in London. To do this, he decides to suggest terminating Fullerton Airways and using that money to pay off their debts. From a business perspective, he stands correct. His father, Duncan, decides to send him to Australia to have some ground check so he can prove his son's worth to the board and promote him. The cafe owner, Heath, and Nikki both want Dana to take some time out of being in the air and focus on her personal life, but it seems like Dana has made work her life. Jeff is a little slow on reading the emails, which results in him getting notified about William's arrival to run some financial checks a few hours before his ferry arrives. He sends Dana to pick him up. She shouldn't be blamed for expecting an old man to arrive for a financial check, so it is pretty awkward when she misunderstands a random man to be William Matthews, ignoring the real one. William also misunderstands Dana to be Jeff's assistant, but she humbles him quickly by telling him she's the chief pilot. Reaching the shed, Jeff and Nikki meet William. While poor Jeff is trying to maintain a good impression, Nikki is checking William out and sending suggestive signals to Dana about him. The English man feels suffocated in his tie and suit since the air conditioner isn't working around. Since he wants to look at the financial documents that Jeff never bothered to sort, Jeff makes Dana take William on a tour as she delivers some couriers so she can set up the papers somehow. Dana and William both are awkward about this idea. Dana because she finds William sus, while William because he doesn't want to sit in the only working place in the company. And that too, the first one that Dana's mother bought and named. Sitting in the plane, he hopes it doesn't give up on them, which doesn't settle well with his clear fear of flying. Dana helps him calm down by showing him the mesmerizing view of the sea from above. She lands the plane on Packers Bay, an island that would be completely cut off from the rest of the world if not for their old plane and non-profiting airways. As Dana interacts with everyone, William comes down looking out of place with his suit. Seeing some children play football, he joins them while Dana finishes up with her work. Going back, Heath gives William his room's key, but when William reaches near it, he is annoyed to see he has to climb the stairs with his suitcase. That's some privileged behavior right there. Reaching the apartment, he has to stick his face into the freezer to fight off the heat of the entire day. However, his business personality still doesn't let him get out of his suit and tie the next day. Jeff once again makes an excuse that he is just finalizing some reports on the finances and lies to Dana that Nikki is not here today, suggesting William go help Dana with the drops. As the two leave, it turns out Nikki and Jeff plotted this to set the two of them up. During the flight, the two talk about how both of them run their father's business, but William does it because his father built the business, while Dana wouldn't want to do anything other than work for her father. Their conversation gets disrupted by the sudden jolts in the plane. William starts panicking as Dana reports back about the plane's engine going down. She barely saves them from crashing on an island and manages to make a safe landing rather than a life-threatening one. William wonders how they'll call for help now, but Dana tells him that they won't be getting any in days if they decide to wait, so they should do what they can to help themselves. Instead of the romantic deserted on the island trope, we see an empowering trope with the two of them working together with Dana knowing more about mechanical stuff than William. With this teamwork, the two manage to run the aircraft and get back home, breaking the last bit of ice between them. At lunch later on, everyone can see the two are finally hitting it off together. When William's father calls, his face falls because reality kicks in. Nikki forces Dana to walk William to his apartment. The two of them walk around for a bit, making William realize how beautiful it is to live in a small state where everyone worries about each other and acts like a family. The mesmerizing night sky catches his interest too, making Dana decide to lie down and discuss the stars with him. As she introduces him to different stars and a peaceful hangout, a koala's voice makes William jump in fear. Dana jokes about Nikki being right, that he needs her, to which William humorously agrees. As she sees him off, William decides to delay checking the finances for a while and accompany Dana with her crops. The time afterward is joyous for everyone, especially William and Dana. Dana is finally enjoying some company while William is enjoying a life he never knew he needed to witness. After helping her with a few drops, William is invited to a match of cricket by Jeff. The match is fun for everyone, with the not-so-discreet flirting between William and Dana. Duncan, who has been worried about his son disappearing on him, finally manages to reach him. Picking the call, William tries his best to convince Duncan that Fullerton Airways is a necessity in this place, and it shouldn't be shut down. This conversation is overheard by Nikki, making her tell Dana that William stabbed them in the back. Coming back, William tries to explain how he doesn't want that anymore, but the hurt of someone being nice to you, with the ulterior motive of hitting you where it hurts the most, isn't easy to let go. As the two argue, Nikki stops them, informing them about the cyclone coming this way. Dana's worry shifts towards her dad, who is out, and she starts calling him. Everyone around the place starts clearing the outsides and saving the necessary stuff from getting destroyed. Jeff is stranded outside, unable to see clearly with the heavy rain and the darkness. It doesn't go well when the power shuts down around the place. Dana worriedly keeps ringing him while Jeff has gotten injured due to an impact. Telling Nikki to grab the important stuff and go inside, and telling William to leave her alone, Dana decides to go out and search for Jeff. It is a painful few moments when Dana is looking frantically for her dad in the dark storm, while her dad is sitting in the rain in pain calling her out. As he hears Dana's voice, he calls out to her, but Dana still cannot find him. Luckily, William couldn't sit back without helping and finds William, bringing him back. As the four of them are stuck in the room, Jeff gets updated about the situation. William and Dana get into a huge fight where Dana confronts him that he doesn't have any means to care about them, making William confess he does because he cares about her and he wants to save the place for her. Now that calms down the situation. But of course, after giving Jeff and Nikki a good confession scene straight out of a live romance. The next day, Dana is partly civil to William till Jeff sends the two of them to bring aid to people. They spend the whole day bringing food and first aid for people and taking the injured ones back to the hospital. At the end of the day, peace was established between the two. William is even more impressed with Dana, while Dana praises him for doing all this for the people. When the two of them get back, their sweet romance bubble bursts, with Jeff telling them ITCM Financials mailed them about Fullerton Airways being terminated effective immediately. William calls his father and argues with him about this matter, only to be brutally shut down by him. Dana runs away while Jeff consoles William that he did what he could. Jeff consoles a crying Dana that she didn't let her mother down, and it's okay if things get out of hand for her. The next day they are packing their stuff when Nikki's casual ranting pops an idea into Dana's head. She decides to take their one last shot to save the business. Interestingly, Dana's idea turns out to be flying uninvited to ITCM Financials, barging into their board meeting and asking them to hear out her proposal. Duncan is about to call security on her when William requests him to give it a go. Dana has 2 minutes, and she starts with how she wanted to keep the business but never bothered maintaining it. She then moves along to request them to invest in Fullerton Airways so that business can improve. Duncan isn't entirely wrong to question how she won't flunk a bigger business when she couldn't manage this one. To which William stands up for her, telling him it won't be flunked if a professional finance manager works with them. He finally opens up to his father that this business isn't his dream, and he'd want to work with Dana and help in that business. Seeing his son's determination to prove that he can help with that business, Duncan is proud and decides to review the proposal. Later on, we see William doing well with the family as Fullerton Airways strives for a better business and more crafts. Even Dana is flying in a new aircraft, while her mother's plane is kept as a symbol of how far back they go.